Ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for joining us today on SportsNetworker.com. Today I'm very happy to be joined by Howie Roseman, General Manager for the Philadelphia Eagles. Howie, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Lucas. Thanks for asking.
Great. Well, let's dive right in here to the first question. Starting as a salary cap and staff counsel in 2000, how were you able to rise through the ranks of the Eagles all the way up to the general manager position?
I've been very fortunate to work with people who have empowered me in every area. When I was able to show some proficiency in some areas, they put more on my plate. I always wanted to get on the scouting side. They promised me that as long as I did the job well, they'd feed me more, and that started after I did the salary cap. I did pro scouting, and then I went on the road in college scouting, tied it all in together.
After the University of Florida, you went on to Fordham University where you earned your Juris Doctorate. How would you say having a law degree has helped you with your sports endeavors?
Well, we do a lot of negotiating, whether it's with player contracts or player trades or even internally with your staff, trying to figure out the right value. So, excuse me. So I think it taught me how to negotiate, how to think analytically, and obviously that's helpful when you're devising a roster and helping run a sports team.
Throughout the season, what are some of the daily team functions that you're directly responsible for?
Well, it starts with scouting and evaluating players. First, on our team, we always say that the only way to correctly evaluate what you need is what you have. So we want to evaluate our team first. That's watching practices, watching the games, grading them after every practice, every game, and through training camp as well. And then pro and college scouting, knowing all the players in the NFL, players available to you, whether they're on the street, on practice squads, free agents, and then the college draft, evaluating all those guys. And we have a great scouting staff that obviously helps me a great deal in all those realms. In addition, salary cap, managing our cap, negotiating our player contracts, and just day-to-day administrative functions.
What is your relationship like with Andy Reid from a business perspective, and why do you think he's been able to be one of the longest tenured coaches in football?
Andy Reid is one of, if not the greatest leader anyone that I know will ever meet. He's got an amazing sense of calmness amidst the storm. He's got a presence. People want to do well for him. Incredibly honest, straightforward individual. And it's just, I feel very fortunate that he's the head coach of this football team.
The Eagles are one of the younger teams in the NFL. Would you say that's just because that's how it happened, or is that a movement that you're sort of trying to move forward with?
Both parts of that question, I'd probably say, are accurate. One, because of the nature of the salary cap, it's flat. It's back to levels it was 4 or 5 years ago, but yet salaries of your top players continue to rise. So to supplement those star players, and we feel like we have a nucleus of really good young players that we've signed to extensions, LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, Trent Cole, to name a few, you have to have young players at fixed costs. So because we have a group of players that are highly paid and we think are top players, we also have to have young players that are performing.
What would you say was the most powerful and influential decision that you either made or were a part of throughout your career?
Well, I think there are a couple of them. Being part of the TO situation was pretty powerful, both for the positive that came out of it, getting us to the Super Bowl, and also for the lessons you learned after that. At the same time, you also have some decisions with some older players that have gone through. We had a lot of success in the early part of this decade. Those players got older, and you had to make decisions whether to retain them or move forward. And we've really changed the nucleus of our team, as well as the quarterback situations we've been involved with, trading Donovan McNabb, Kevin Cobb, Michael Vick as our starter. So it's been an interesting run here in Philadelphia.
And the last question we have for you today is, as the youngest general manager in the NFL, what advice would you give to those aspiring to break into the business of sports?
Try to be the oldest general manager in the NFL. I think you just have to be persistent. You determine effort to go follow through with your dreams, talk to as many people as you can, do the right thing, and get people to start acknowledging that you have some talents and some tools, and just work hard.
Well, thanks again for joining us, and for SportsNetworker.com, I'm Lucas Biebelberg. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Thanks for your time.